Hello everyone, my name is Jazaa Ansari and I will be demonstrating 3 experiments in the following video. The first experiment is the floating eggs experiment. This experiment was designed to see whether fresh water or salt water causes things to float more. The key principles involved in this experiment are density and buoyancy. Density is defined as the mass of a particular substance per unit volume. Buoyancy is the upward pressure or force exerted by a fluid which causes an object immersed in the liquid to rise up or move upwards. Now in this experiment, we will need 2 glasses, water, 2 eggs, salt and a spoon. So let's get started. Now first we will pour some water into the glasses. Now we will carefully drop the egg in the water and note down the observations. As we can see in this case where the water consists only of normal tap water, the egg sinks at the bottom. Now in the second glass we will add a few spoons of salt and we will mix it. Now we will drop the second egg in this glass and note down the observations. As we can see, because the density of water has now increased because of addition of salt, the egg is floating at top of the glass. The same principle can cause ships to float. The weight of the displaced water is greater than the physical weight. Second application is submarine. A submarine can alter or control its buoyancy, whereas a regular boat cannot. This permits a submarine to dive underwater as well as to come on the surface of the water. The submarine has ballast tanks that can be filled with air water to control its buoyancy. The third application is hot air balloon. The atmosphere filled with air gives any object a buoyant force. The buoyant force causes a hot air balloon to rise and float. When the balloon's weight exceeds the buoyant force, it descends down. It becomes stationary when the weight of the balloon is equal to the buoyant force of the atmosphere. The second experiment is a homemade lava lamp. The key principles involved in this experiment are density, polarity, hydrophobicity, and to observe a chemical reaction between acids and base. This lava lamp can also be made without the use of the Alka-Seltzer tablet by using baking soda and some vinegar. So let's begin this experiment. First, we will take a glass, empty glass, and we add 1 tablespoon of baking soda in it. After that, we fill this cup up to half with vegetable oil. After this, we pour some vinegar into a small bowl or a cup. And now we will add a food color of our choice. After the addition of color into the vinegar turns to be the color of whatever food color you add. Next we take this color into a dropper or a syringe. And then we slowly pour it into this glass. different colors so as to observe the variety of reaction that is taking place between an acid and a base. Now, as we observed in the lava lamp experiment, oil and water cannot mix because they are unable to form chemical bonds with one another. Water is composed of profoundly charged hydrophilic compounds, while oil is composed of long chains of carbon that are hydrophobic, that is, scared of water. The water molecules do not attract the long chain carbons that make up the oils. This causes the separation we see in this experiment, along with our kitchen sinks and oil spills in the ocean. Density describes the number of particles that can fit in a similar space. A dense fluid has lots of molecules packed in firmly, whereas a less dense fluid has more space between the molecules. Because it is less dense than water, oil will float on top of water. As food coloring has the same density as the water, it will eventually mix with the water and sink through the oil. The third experiment is rainbow with a mirror. This experiment helps to introduce children to the basics of optics and the physics of light. The result of this experiment is a beautiful display of the colors of the rainbow, which can be used as a tool to teach the students about the nature of light and color. So let's begin. First, for this experiment, we only need a glass filled with half water, a mirror, and a torch. We place the mirror inside the water glass at a certain angle. And after this, we need to make sure that the room is completely dark by switching off all the lights of the room. And then what we will do is we will turn on the torch and show light at an angle on the mirror so as to get the reflection of the rainbow on the wall. As we observe the formation of rainbow on the wall, the colors red, orange, yellow, blue, green, indigo and violet are displayed in a rainbow. Mist, dew and spray can also contribute to its formation. At the point when light strikes the outer surface of a water drop, it changes its speed, making it bend. When it enters the water, it is refracted, and when it leaves the droplet of water, it is refracted once more. Light travels in waves, where the length of each would depend upon the color. Red has the longest wavelength among the visible colors, so it tends to bend the least. As a result, red appears on top of the rainbow. Violet has the shortest wavelength, it tends to bend the most. Hence, violet appears at the bottom of the rainbow. When there is a rainbow, we can see different colors in a spectrum because of this phenomenon.